Hi friends, welcome back to our next SEL lesson. My name is Mrs. Packard and I am the school counselor at Bogan. You might be wondering, well, I don't go to Bogan, and that's okay. Right now, because we're learning online, all of the school counselors have divided up the different grade levels to record the lessons every other week. So even though you don't go to Bogan, I'm still going to teach you the lessons for the rest of our time online. I'm excited. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm happy that you're going to get to learn as we go along in the year and become better people. Now, I'm wondering if you've met with Mrs. Schwegman in the past, or Mrs. Judy or Mrs. Marconi. I'm wondering if you're thinking about, but what if I need to talk to them? You're still allowed. You're still allowed to talk to your home school, the school you would normally go to if we weren't learning online, school counselor. You would just need to reach out to your online teacher, which I think, is it Mrs. Colt? Yeah, I think that's her name. That's Mrs. Colt. I've never met Mrs. Colt before, but you would just reach out to Mrs. Colt, and Mrs. Colt will contact us, your school counselor. Anyways, let's get started. Last time we were together, we talked about feeling confident. When you're confident, you feel good about something that you're doing, or you feel proud of yourself. Remember, we talked about this little girl. At first, she wasn't very confident. She wasn't feeling very confident about telling time. So she talked to her teacher, explained how she was feeling, and then every single day practiced every single day. And then look at that. Look at her body. She's standing up straight and tall. Her head is straight. Her smile is on her face. Her eyes look like they're smiling too. Because she practiced, she felt confident. She knew that she could do it. She knew that she could tell time. When we're confident, we trust ourselves. We know that we can do whatever we're putting our minds to. Very good. Friends, today we're going to learn about how having empathy, which empathy means understanding or feeling how someone else might be feeling, can help us understand and respect when people have different opinions or preferences, things that they like or don't like, than you. I want you to raise your hand if you always like to walk outside in the rain. Always. Okay. How about sometimes? How about never? We all are not alike. Some of us always like to walk in the rain. Others, just sometimes. And then there's some of us who don't like to walk in the rain sometimes at all. We prefer to do different things at different times. We have different preferences. I want to show you two friends that have different preferences. This is Tiana. Tiana's in the blue. And this is Brandon. They're science partners. Today, they're looking at worms. Their assignment is to pick up the worm and notice the different body parts on the worm. Look at Tiana. How do you think she's feeling? Notice her face. Her eyes are very focused. Tiana is happy or interested in learning about the worm. But look at Brandon. Oh, Brandon. Does Brandon have the same feelings as Tiana? He sure doesn't. How does Brandon feel? Brandon feels disgusted. How can you tell? Look at that mouth. He's making a disgusted face. His mouth is turned down. Look at those eyebrows. Show me your disgusted face. Would you enjoy looking at a worm, picking up a worm and studying it? Or maybe you're much like Brandon. Maybe you feel disgusted touching worms. Tiana and Brandon have different preferences. Some of us feel like Tiana. Others might feel like Brandon. Tiana notices Brandon's feelings. She's noticing his feeling cues. She's noticing Brandon's face. She thinks that he's feeling disgusted and maybe scared by the worms. But she wants to first check and find out if that's true. So Tiana asked him, she says, "It looks like you're feeling disgusted by the worm. Do you want to hold it?" She checked in to make sure that she was understanding how he was feeling. Brandon shook his head no. Now Tiana understands Brandon's point of view. When Tiana understands his point of view or what he's feeling or thinking, she has empathy for him. Tiana decides to respect Brandon's preferences, but she still wants him to enjoy the activity. What do you think she could do? What's one kind thing that she could do to help him? Tiana decides to talk to Brandon about his preferences. She says to him, "I understand that you don't want to hold the worm. That's okay. I'll hold it for you and we can both look at it together." Tiana showed Brandon compassion. We're going to learn more about compassion in the next coming weeks. But let's play a game. I'm going to say something. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to give you my answer and then I want to hear your answer. I want us to notice if we have the same preferences or different preferences. Are you ready? Do you always, sometimes, or never like to read comic books? I sometimes like to. What about you? Did we have the same or different preferences? Interesting. Is that okay that we had different preferences? Sure. Do you always, sometimes, or never like to play outside? Always. What about you? Did we have the same or different preference? Is that okay? Sure is. Do you always, sometimes, or never like to watch movies? Sometimes. What about you? Do you always, sometimes, or never like to eat pickles? I'm a sometimes. What about you? We all have different preferences. Okay, last one. This is a good one. Do you always, sometimes, or never like to clean your room? I'm a big old never. I never liked to clean my room, and I never did when I was your age. What about you? Were you the same or different? It's okay to have different preferences. What you like might be different than what I like, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm better than you. It means that we're just different. And that is what's so cool, is that we're all different. We're all special and unique. Sing along to this song with me, friends.
In every situation, your feelings mean so much to you, but you know that you're not alone. There's other folks with feelings too. So when you get together, try to understand how they might feel, because they might have their own ideas with feelings that are just as real. Oh, empathy means feeling what others feel. You felt it too, happy, sad, angry, glad. You notice it and you understand. Oh, empathy is feeling what others feel. You felt it too, happy, sad, angry, glad. You notice it and you understand. That's right. Empathy wonder what's their point of view. The next step is compassion. That's being kind and finding ways to help a friend. That's easy when you understand. Oh, empathy means feeling what others feel. You felt it too. Happy, sad, angry, glad. You notice it and you understand. Oh, empathy is feeling what others feel. You felt it too. Happy, sad, angry, glad. You notice it and you understand. Oh, empathy means feeling what others feel. You felt it too. Happy, sad, angry, glad. You notice it and you understand. Oh,